This is your channeled message from Spirit for the entire month of May 2024. I saw a bunch of old cowboys, like old-fashioned cowboys like John Wayne and even Tom Selleck in their gear, setting out on the backs of their horses out across the desert, talking. They have their lassos and they're literally just going out to catch cattle and rope steers. It's like an ordinary, everyday thing. But then they drive all the cattle into the yards where they run them through the chutes so that they can like tag them or do whatever they need to do. And John Wayne turns into a different version, another character he played where he has an eye patch. But then it's also like in Montana, like the setting from with Kevin Costner and the show Yellowstone. Driving all this cattle, like they come around a corner and then they turn to go down like a gully in the land, but it actually turns into like a waterfall of space and time, and all the horses and cattle and cowboys, like they all just kind of ride down. It's like riding off into the sunset, but riding down into another dimension. It like, they like fade off into the light and then like evaporating, disappearing like water that pours off of a waterfall. Now it's getting weird. And it's like Tom Selleck and John Wayne and even Robert Redford from Jeremiah Johnson. They're like down at the bottom of wherever they went, looking up around, and they're surrounded, like they're in the middle, kind of like a pit. And up above, they're like being judged in this giant circle above them by these giant frogs, but it feels like the scene from Star Wars episode 1, way back, when Jar Jar takes them to what's his name? Giant frog creature person that Jar Jar Binks takes Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn to visit in the underwater world. Like it feels like that, but it's these old traditional cowboys kind of being judged and talked to by these creatures that look like frogs or like a Jar Jar Binks ish, and they're wondering, how the heck did we get here? What in the world is going on? But it's not so strange that they think they're hallucinating. It's just, okay, roll with the punches. We're cowboys. Never met them. Gonna try and communicate. Gonna try and talk together, just like the Jedi do in Star Wars, without belittling, but also honoring tradition. It's like, that's what it feels like. And now I'm seeing like the story turn around in reverse, and all of the cattle and the cowboys, like they now have a path to ride back up out of the abyss into the valley of Montana to our current earth plane to go back home. Like, okay, time to move along on this journey. Thank you. And let's go on our way. And Tom Selleck and Robert Redford and John Wayne, they get on their horses and they ride back too. And then this whole cycle just kind of repeats of the cattle and the cowboys moving along this story path repeatedly, and it makes like a figure 8 infinity symbol. So the message feels like for this month what seems like just drudgery or labor or the things you have to get done that are a part of life and a part of living. Still consistently doing those things, those actions that we take, they play more of a huge role in the unseen and in other realities than you know. And that quote from Buddha, I can't remember exactly. There's a quote, I'm going to butcher it, goes something like, even when after you've become enlightened or awake, before your enlightenment, you haul water, chop wood. After your enlightenment, you haul water, chop wood. And it's this idea of, I know we want to just stop doing these pointless, minuscule things within the structure of life that don't seem like they have meaning anymore at all. 444 on the clock, my clock on my phone. But now we get to infuse it with the awareness we have, because it is actually, even though it feels like it's just pointless and not there, just repetitive and an eternity of things that don't matter just so that we can live, it's making an impact. It's creating a cause and effect that we can't see because we have this new awareness and we're still choosing to take care of the stuff, move forward with life. And I heard, like, in the very bones of who we are, like honoring the journey of what our ancestors went through and what we went through in past lives to be here and experience all of that. And it is actually contributing to all of the movement forward in the unknown, in the dream state, in the invisible, where new connections are being made, even though they're not understood, even though it's odd or confusing or doesn't make sense, it still is making an impact. And you've got to trust that. Because I'm seeing this infinity symbol where the part that dips down into the other reality is like glittery and sparkly, magical, and then the earth plane side is like dull and black. But the more and more this symbol goes around and around, the more we do this, all of the sparkle and light and magic gradually envelops this whole infinity symbol. So it is all shining, where things will merge and everything will open up and all will be seen all at the same time. So go watch a John Wayne or a Tom Selleck or a Robert Redford movie while you fold your laundry and take heart, because it all plays a part. Now go start.